Hey, and welcome to episode 75 of Shatter The Vain. Pretty exciting week here with all the announcements from PAX going on. And we got so much to talk about. The update is coming on February 3rd. Hopefully do an update episode video for you guys, so keep an eye out for that next week. But on this episode, helping me run down all these changes and all these announcements, I got ClosetNerd from Team Phoenix. Name seen a few times from people, and I asked somebody who they'd like to see on the podcast, and his name got brought up. So I was like, all right, let's do this. If anyone out there listening or watching has someone they'd like to see on the podcast, let me know. Or if you're interested in being on, love to have people from the community that love this game too. So let me know. Send me an email at shatterthevain@gmail.com or hit me up on Twitter at shatterthevain. So we got all the Red Lantern stuff, the Lunar New Year happening. This episode comes out on Lunar New Year, so this is fantastic. It's going to be a lot of fun talking about all these changes. And then I'd like to mention the Patreon again over at patreon.com/shatterthevain. Have that going. If you can donate, great. If you can't, no problem. Understand. I appreciate everyone that listens to the show and supports the show with, retweeting it on Twitter, leaving reviews on iTunes. Like, all of that is fantastic. Like, just subscribing is great too. So thank you, everyone. But if you can support me, go ahead and do that. Hopefully, I kind of want to do 2 episodes every week, and I kind of have some ideas for stuff besides just news and forum static and gameplay, stuff like that. So hopefully we can get that rolling and start to do 2 episodes every week, and maybe have some great interviews coming up. But let's do it. Let's jump into this episode. A lot to talk about, so it's going to be a long one. So get ready. Here we go.
Shatter the Vain, a podcast about Vainglory.
This is the 75th episode of Shatter the Vain. My name is Brad Chmielewski, and this is a podcast all about Vainglory. Every week, I try to break down the news, gameplay, game tips, and hopefully we can all become better players together. And every week, I'm bringing on new people from the community, people that love this game and are doing exciting things. And this week, I have ClosetNerd from Team Phoenix joining me. Welcome.
Hi, Brad. What's going on?
It's great to have you here. Your name's come up a few times from people, so it's gonna be great to talk through all this news and what Team Phoenix is doing.
Sure.
So I want to learn more about Team Phoenix, but I feel like we need to talk about all this the Lunar New Year stuff that has happened here at PAX and all these announcements from Super Evil this week, and then we'll dive into Team Phoenix a little after that. I'm just like so jazzed up for all this Lunar New Year stuff and just talk through it with somebody. Does it sound good?
Yeah,
Cool.
of course.
Vainglory News.
Kicking it off at PAX on Friday. It was 10 a.m. I think right there in the morning. Super Evil went live and they announced all this stuff around the Lunar New Year. We had already gotten a tease for Ozo, latest hero headed to the fold. We'll go over his abilities here in a minute, but first, this Lunar New Year celebration, this is their first in-game event. And it's really exciting to see what they're doing with this, especially the fantastic Lunar New Year map. Did you get a chance to see this new map?
I did. Nice tints of red all over the place. I like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love the fireworks going off when you're in lane and you're like looking off the side of the mountain or the cliff there. You see these fireworks going off. Ooh, it looks great, and especially the lanterns going all over the place. Like it's pretty nice. I like the color scheme on this one. I'm shocked we got another map though right after just having the winter map here. Like what, 3 weeks ago? Like it's not even been there that long.
Yeah, I think it changed right around when winter season was. They kicked off the winter season, so yeah, it's been around 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah, that's kind of. I wonder if they're gonna bring it back. Like, we're gonna have this map for what, 3-4 weeks, and then we're back to the winter map. It seems like a
Yeah.
lot of work goes into these maps, and they're used like, I guess, so little. Like,
Yeah.
but it's fun that they like took the time. Like I know not a lot of other games do this and like skin the maps anymore because I think it just becomes a time thing and it also becomes a readability thing. That's usually why you don't see it in a lot of other games. Like it's confusing for new players to jump in if they're like, oh, last time I was here there was pumpkins here and I missed the winter one and now there's Chinese lanterns all around.
Yeah, and it's also a lot of work for no monetizations because you're not paying for the skins.
Right.
So I think that's another issue.
Real exciting. And then, so during this Lunar New Year event, they're running a lot of special things they're doing. So we're going to get draft mode here in 1.14. We talked a little bit about that in the last episode. But in order to do draft mode, and even in the order to do ranked coming in 1.14, you need to have 8 heroes. And Super Evil kind of knows that, hey, not everyone has 8 heroes and stuff is kind of expensive. So they're giving you a chance to kind of get some heroes at a cheaper price and even some of them for free. So they're going to give away Kashka and Ringo free to people. So if you're on iOS, you get Kashka. If you're on Android, you get Ringo. This is awesome that they're doing this, but these 2 heroes are like the cheapest heroes in the game. I would think people would own these heroes already.
Yeah, I mean, if you're playing ranked right now, you're going after 3 heroes, the 3 hero minimum.
Yeah.
You're getting Kashka, Ringo, and Catherine because those are the 3 cheapest ones.
Yeah, so I can't see that many people benefiting from this. Only thing if someone makes a new account, I think in the next like couple weeks, and it's like, oh sweet, I got this new character.
Yeah.
But that's happening, I think, starting February 2nd, which is the day Lunar New Year starts. And then also through February 2nd through the 13th, they're going to have hero sales going on. So this is the first time we're seeing basically reduced price on ice and glory for some of the heroes. I'm not sure if this is going to function like a flash sale kind of thing, like a couple days for maybe Scarf, Jewel, and Arden, and then it switches to another group of heroes, or if it's just going to be like reduced for that whole week, and they just keep adding new people. Not completely clear on this, but it's kind of nice if you're thinking of buying anyone. I would wait until next week see who's
I
up for it.
agree.
Do you already own everyone or have everyone on your account?
Yeah, I have a really bad habit of just getting everybody on release.
Okay.
So even if I don't play them, like Rhyme, I didn't play him one game, but
But you
I
picked
had
them
to get
up.
him. Yeah,
Well, yeah, I think there's a lot of people that just want to support Super Evil too, and so they're like, oh, it's only unlockable through ice. Yeah, I'll pick them up. Or I play a ton and I have so much glory, I can't do anything else with it, so I'll just get the heroes.
yeah,
And then they're also doing this red envelope. So every day, if you log in, basically for 7 days in a row, you're going to get potentially almost 5,000 glory just for logging into the game. That's easy. That's like free money again. So with the guilds, they were giving you ice and glory just for playing the game. This you don't even have to play. You just have to log in. That's pretty exciting, and I hope everyone remembers to log in. Like maybe set it up and just check your phone at lunch when you're at work or at school. Just log in the game and then log out. You don't have to play. You don't have to spend time in a match or anything.
yeah. And to be honest, this is probably the most exciting feature, like free giveaway type of event that they're having.
Yeah.
Since I started playing, I think in October 2015. So I mean, they've had awesome events, but this is just by far the easiest and the most rewarding.
Yeah. I think so. Like I love the double glory weekends that they do and the crazy 8 cards, but this is just like it's so easy. There's no reason.
Yeah, and I think they're doing the Crazy Eights and the Double Glory weekends also.
Yeah, so they're doing that. I think so. It's just a fun celebration from basically the start of Lunar New Year for the till the 13th. So almost 2 weeks there. Very cool. And then they also updated that little graphic they have on their website, and it says update 1.14 is coming on February 3rd. Everyone kept asking in the Twitch chat as they're talking about this, when is it coming? And it's right there on their website. So get ready for that. I think I'll probably do a update rundown here when that's released as well. So, and then with update 1.14, we finally got the abilities and the list for Ozo, the monkey. You know, it's the year of the monkey. That's the whole Lunar New Year thing. It's the year of the monkey. I don't know what next year is, but maybe they'll continue this theme of like, hey, that hero is going to be an animal, and you're going to see him every year at the beginning of February. So,
was Scarf released during the Year of the Dragon?
Oh, was it? Was this past year the Year of the Dragon? Oh, I don't know.
I have no idea.
I do not follow my Chinese New Year's very well.
Yeah, me neither.
Did you see Ozo getting played on stream at all?
I did.
He looks super fun, and it seems like he has a little bit of a high skill cap. Again, we've kind of been creeping with this Sky, and then even Rhyme has a kind of high skill cap. You got to understand the fortified health and like know when to throw out your little ice mounds and everything. I'm blanking on what they're called.
Yeah, I think it's the right move. Like as the game turns into more of a competitive, as they develop their competitive field, I think having high skill cap heroes is just better for the competitive aspect of the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So quickly, we'll go over his abilities here. His heroic perk is called Carney Luck. So Ozo receives additional healing, barrier, and fortified health from all sources. This does not affect his health regen. So the idea here is if he's chugging a Halcyon potion or has an infusion going, he's going to get increased healing from all of that. So basically he's kind of like a Wolverine kind of idea here. He just heals quicker and faster than anyone else would if he's got a potion going. And yeah. I think this would also apply if he has like a Fin barrier or even an Arden Vanguard as well. So he'll get additional barrier.
Or an Adagio heal, right?
Oh, that's true, yeah. That's a pretty neat thing, and I think something that's going to take a lot of people a little while to get their grasp on. Like, oh, we got to wait till maybe that Adagio heal is off cooldown because he just used it on Ozo, or that Fin barrier. Like, we got to do more damage here.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see Taka come back into the meta as well because Taka reduces healing.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
There's a lot of like, I guess, chain reaction events that could happen with this.
Yeah, that's always one character really switches things up sometimes if it's the item builds or even characters coming back. I hate Taka though. I hope he doesn't come back. I was just gonna ban him out all the time. Screw that. Then his Ozo's A ability is called 3-Ring Circus. Ozo performs a 3-hit combo with his ring. So if you saw any of the splash art or even the gameplay video, he's carrying around this giant ring with him that he kind of flips through and rolls through and does a lot of his abilities through. So each part of the combo is a separate tap within a 5-second window. So the first hit, Ozo thrusts his ring forward, damaging the target and all enemies in front of him. The second hit, Ozo dashes through his target and deals damage. And the final hit, Ozo spins, damaging all nearby enemies. So this was, I think, seeing it happen, it was a little tricky to see because you are having to tap a little more. But it was kind of fun. Like, you get 3 attacks from one ability.
Yeah, I mean, just hearing about it, just reading the skill, it kind of reminds me of a mix between Riven and Wukong in League of Legends. I don't know if you play League of Legends, but yeah, it's like a hybrid between that.
Mm-hmm. So I think the good players here will shine again, like being able to use these the 3-hit combo effectively, like
Yeah,
knowing that the first hit, damages enemies in a line, and this one like dashes, and then the spin, like just remembering the order and what's coming out is going to be important.
yeah, yeah, and it definitely adds to the skill cap of the hero, and the player, I guess, maneuvering the hero would have to, and playing against the hero too. You have to work against that too.
Right.
So
And then his B ability, I think, was the most fun to see. It's called Acro Bounce, and Ozo hops onto the head of a nearby target. This is enemy, ally, or jungle monster. When he jumps on them, it slows them and damaging them. And then while Ozo is airborne, if he quickly taps a nearby target, it bounces off one head to the other. And he can do this 3 times. The final hop deals increased damage. So they were showing this on the stream. Zcamp was jumping, basically just the lane minions. And you could bounce around them a whole bunch. So this could be a great ability to escape or reposition yourself. You'll see Sky, she'll Suri strike to the other side, but Ozo, he's going to be able to kind of do the same thing. Like maybe he's being chased or getting chased by someone, he can jump. And if he could quickly jump to all 3 allies, he could run away. or all 3
yeah,
enemies even.
yeah, I love how his abilities have so much mobility.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very, very in the meta right now with trying to clear jungle as fast as possible, invading, and early skirmishes at the jungle shop. I think he'll fit perfectly into the meta with his high mobility.
Yeah. So, and also says if Ozo hops at least twice, he gets a burst of movement speed. So there's that like quick escape kind of thing. Like just like
Yeah,
I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna catch up to you. Fun. And his ultimate or his C ability is called Bangarang. Ozo charges up before tumbling to a targeted enemy hero. If he reaches the target within 1 second, he deals damage, stunning them for 0.5 seconds, and flips the target over his ring behind him. While tumbling, Ozo will knock aside and deal reduced damage to all enemies behind him. So this is trying to think of this as if you do play League of Legends, like a Volibear, or even in Heroes of the Storm, a Diablo, where he kind of like runs in there and just like flips you behind him. And
yeah. I think Singe would be a better example.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is you have to have a targeted enemy hero to do this. So this is like something you can't really practice in practice mode. So you need to go into the bot mode if you want to try this out. But yeah, this is just him like being almost a jerk. Like, I'm just gonna run in here and flip you, and you're stunned, and now my team can follow you up because you're kind of out of position.
Yeah.
This kit is exciting. Like, I'm excited for Ozo.
Yeah, I mean, he sounds incredibly fun, and just watching the dev stream, like, wow, it's just there's so much going on whenever he's part of a team fight, and I think he's going to add a lot of depth to different team comps.
Yeah. With the like you're talking about the mobility we have right now, like if a team has like a Sky and an Ozo, and then we'll probably have either Arden or Catherine, like just the movements and the shields that everyone's going to be getting, it's going to be hard to just like lock someone down. Those triple stun comps we often see with the Catherine, Celeste, Jewel, like those are great, but you need to be able to lock someone down the first time. That's so I'm definitely going to be picking him up as soon as he comes out next week and start playing him. I think he's primarily going to be played in the jungle. I'm sure we will see a lot of people trying to run him in lane because of, I think, that acro bounce, being able to jump through the minions and quickly clear them, and then getting that move speed to maybe rotate down is just going to help out a lot.
I think I also see him as a jungler. We'll probably see him in lane, especially during like a CP jungle comp. You might see him in lane, I think. I think Playoff Beer tweeted that he's been playing a lot of CP Ozo, so I'm kind of excited to see what CP Ozo has to offer too.
Oh yeah, because I think everyone kind of did weapon on the
Yeah,
streams that are running it on the PBE. Like that's a, I think that's like the ideal way to go. But I think Crystal could be fun.
yeah. Did they release the how he scales over time?
No, we don't. We haven't seen any of those yet. I think there's some images people grabbed from the stream, like some pictures, some screen grabs.
Yeah.
But that's it right now.
Mm.
And then with Ozo, we got like a really awesome lore story of him and Red Lantern Kashka. First off, this skin, the splash art looks great. But in game, I don't know. I don't know if I wasn't seeing it on the PBE. Like I think I'm gonna have to see it like on my device. It didn't seem like we had as many particle effects like we have with maybe especially the Celeste Halloween skin or even the Fortress Christmas skin.
Oh yeah.
But it didn't seem like we had too many, like, I don't know what I would expect here, like more of the level of like a tier 3 Kashka with the like rainbow swirls. Like it didn't seem like we had like red swirls going around. It didn't seem as like exciting for a limited edition skin as maybe I thought it was. But maybe I just need to see it closer than just like on a compressed Twitch stream.
That's true. That's true. And we don't know what the pricing is going to be either. So
I think
I
it'll
mean,
probably be about that $20 for the limited skins. That's usually what they are.
yeah,
They haven't really started to introduce any other limited edition skin prices, so
yeah.
I'll probably pick it up. I do enjoy playing Kashka, so and I don't want to not have a skin at some
Yeah.
point down the line. That's like I should have just picked it up. What was I thinking?
Yeah. I mean, Kashka is like back in the meta now because of Castrol. So, I mean, I think a lot of people are going to pick it up.
Yeah, I think
But the tier 3 skin is so expensive. Getting a limited edition skin is probably the more cost efficient way to get a nice looking skin.
Yeah, I saw someone post on the Reddit like a tier 3 skin usually costs you about $150. So a limited
Oh,
edition
wow.
one. Like if you don't have anything and you got to buy cards, if you buy the
Yeah.
tier 1 and then you have to buy all the cards, like it can add up quickly.
Is that right? I mean, I have like every tier 3 skin in the game, and I think each one cost me like $70.
Okay.
So I think maybe it's $150 if you're not disenchanting
Yeah.
you have to destroy the cards that you already have too much of.
You got
To
you got to do it optimal. Like if you just buy the boxes and not like disenchant and build cards, like then it gets expensive.
Yeah.
And I think Koshka's going to kind of possibly stay in the meta with Ozo and Sky being there, like having that stun and
Yeah.
the movement speed she gets. Like it's just great.
Yeah.
But man, this Lunar New Year. Like I'm excited. Like the first in-game event. This is really cool to see. And then we haven't seen these patch notes yet. Hopefully they come out maybe this weekend, or they may just go up right when the patch goes live or the update goes live. But they did post something about the winter season jungle changes coming. And this is like a huge list of changes that I feel like maybe should have came at the beginning of the season rather than like, oh, it's already happening. People have been playing. They're leveling up, getting the skill tiers here. VGL's been going on. Like the first qualifiers will be done, but now we have all these new jungle changes that we have to get used to, and it's just going to change up the whole winter season again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to play devil's advocate, I think it's better that they're introducing the changes after VGL 1's over.
True.
So that they're not radically changing the game, right at the finals.
Yeah, that would. I'm sure they would probably
yeah.
give them a test play or a game like their own server to play on. They don't want to mess with that too much.
Yeah.
But a few of the changes that are going to be a big deal here. I think the biggest one is the gold miner is going to always be neutral now.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen is when you capture him now, he's yours, and then the other team has to capture him to get the gold. But in 1.14, once you capture him, you take the money and he goes back to mining. He's a neutral monster again. And then the other team or you can go back and like take his money again. So basically it's kind of like you're just like going and robbing the gold miner. Like, hey, dude, give me your money. And then he's like, oh, all right, back to work kind of idea.
I mean, poor guy.
Yeah.
The guy can't break. I mean, if a team just sits there and camps him for 1 gold every single time he spawns, the guy's always going to go back to work nonstop.
Right.
Yeah.
I think this is going to change up how these jungle fights go, because usually you would see people just like, oh, our gold mine, it's at like 75%. All right, guys, we just have to like kind of hang out near the gold mine because we don't want to like go to our backs, and then they burst them down real quick and take the money. Now you're going to have to kind of almost keep an eye on it and be ready, because the team could just go in there and grab it when it's half full, knowing that like you don't get a jungle advantage having him basically on your team anymore.
Yeah, I think SEMC's really tried to minimize snowballing in game, starting from the bounty system that was introduced last patch,
Yep.
and this patch with this change. I think it's really, not only do you not get the advantage of having a gold mine once you capture him, you also have to now spend more money on vision, because you have to keep it warded and clear wards all the time. I mean, you have to keep it scout trapped.
Yeah.
And you have to clear the enemy vision as well. So you're going to be spending more. You're going to be spending more gold on vision, and not have the advantage of having him as part of your fight when you get into a skirmish in front of the gold mine.
Yeah. And the idea of like just minion candying him, like when you're about to fight there or go there, people may think differently about that now, because although you can minion candy neutral monsters coming in 1.14, like this could backfire horribly on you, because you might minion candy the gold miner and like, oh, he's attacking my team and now he's doing more damage to my team.
Yeah.
But this is kind of nice if you're starting to get invaded on. You can pop some minion candies on your jungle camps, and maybe the enemy team can't take them as quickly if they start to take them, or they begin to take more damage on them. So as a roam or as sport players, I think you're going to want to carry around, maybe you're going to be carrying flares, scout traps, minion candies, potions now. It's gonna get a little much there.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have to start managing your item slots better.
Mm-hmm. Sure. And then those same jungle camps, they are going to be stronger and hit harder. I'm a little interested in this thought process here. I wonder if it's to do just stop one person from being able to go clear the enemy's jungle or run through the jungle very quickly by themselves, like especially Kashka or Taka, who can, clear the jungle incredibly fast in some of those early levels, because now they're going to be taking a lot more damage when they go to try to take them.
Yeah.
So you have to almost be with your partner now in the jungle. Like, it's going to become important to like juggle that aggro a little bit, because usually you just see the supports just, all right, let him hit me, finish this guy off. But they kind of talked about how you're going to maybe have to juggle, especially if you start in the back two. There's 3 camps there, or there's 3 minions there, and as the jungle support person, it sounded like you're not going to be able to just tank all 3 of them. You're going to have your jungle carry tank one of them as well. But this should be interesting to see how this affects play and team comps in the jungle.
Yeah, and I think it encourages communication and proper rotations better too, because I know sometimes when you're playing roam and your carry is halfway across the map and you start doing all 3 minions on the backside of your jungle, and you're kind of holding them at low health, waiting for your carry to come over and kill them all.
Yeah.
And you're just taking damage. You keep taking damage, and this time you might actually die
Right.
because they're doing a lot more damage.
I wonder how this is going to affect maybe some of those off meta jungle carries or even off meta supports a little bit. Like I ran a support Ringo today while I was playing, and he takes a lot of damage from the camps currently. And I don't
Yeah.
think you're going to see that kind of thing happening anymore, like those support Foxes, support Celestes, because they're not going to be able to deal with these stronger camps anymore.
I hear that.
But we'll have to see how this all shakes up next week as we get everything, all the patch notes, and start to see in game. I'm sure it'll change up the comps a little bit.
Absolutely.
And then the last thing we got to see was this Fury Rona. This is basically a Fury Road, right? That's the idea behind this skin from Mad Max.
Yeah. I'm not familiar with it.
Okay, in Mad Max, or wasn't the new Mad Max was called Fury Road because they are driving down this basically crazy path, this road, and you have all these fights. It's pretty fun. I'd definitely check out the new Mad Max movie if you haven't. But Rona here, she's got a Mad Max vibe going on. She's got a little baby doll skull tied into her hair, another little baby doll skull like around her waist. Like, this skin looks badass.
Yeah, it looks incredible. I'm really excited. I gotta be honest though, I was initially a little disappointed because we weren't getting Baby Rona.
Okay.
But this one looks really, really awesome.
Yeah, maybe that'll be a limited edition skin, because how would they do 3 tiers of Baby Rona?
Baby Rona, I guess teenager Rona, and then old man Rona,
Oh,
or old lady
Old
Rona.
lady Rona. The years of Rona. I don't play a lot of Rona. Like, she wasn't really my play style, so I might pick this up, but I don't see myself playing her that often. And especially since she's been so weak, I hope we see some changes to her and some buffs that make her a little stronger and make using this skin even more valuable.
Yeah, I mean she's fallen out of the meta since she was nerfed back in 1.12.
Yeah.
And I don't think I heard any mention of her getting a buff,
Oof.
unfortunately.
And stuff. Maybe with the breaking point changes that are coming, maybe that could help her out a little bit.
Isn't Breaking Point getting a nerf though?
Yeah, breaking point's getting a nerf, so
Yeah,
but
and like Breaking Point was one of like her main core build items.
yeah, but she can do a lot of weapon damage, and so breaking point's now gonna stack based on your weapon damage. So
Sure.
she might be able to output a little more. But oh man,
all this
all that stuff is coming in 1.14. I know a lot of people were complaining about 1.13 not having as many nerfs and buffs to the people that they wanted. And I think this patch list, like them running down it on stream and it even not being posted yet, I think it's massive.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're not only shaking up the meta, but you're changing the game. And I love the new changes to the jungle. It's very interesting. And I think it's gonna definitely draw more people back into the game. So I know a lot of people complain that meta didn't change at all between 1.12 and 1.13,
Yeah.
and the game kind of started getting stale because all you saw were the same Black Feather, Castrol, and Sky, and Arden's like the only support that you see, roam that you see. But I think off the bat with the Ozo release,
Yeah.
I mean Ozo, unless Ozo's stats are just really bad and he scales poorly, his kit looks incredible. I like he's going to be a hero that I think a lot of people are just going to start playing immediately.
I would definitely think so too. Like I think a lot of people do pick up the new heroes right away because they're just excited about them.
Yeah.
And with them adding draft mode, like that's going to change up the meta quite a bit too. Like you being in charge of these competitive teams and these players, like I'm sure they're very excited for a draft mode here, right?
Yeah, and I think I think it adds another element of strategy that's not present in the current ranked scene. If you're familiar with the VGL format, draft mode is really really awesome because it encourages players to have a wide hero pool,
Right.
to master multiple heroes and play them all at a high level, so that you could be flexible in your team compositions, and also so that enemies can't just ban you out. So if you're just, let's say, you're a godly Ringo player and that's all you play, if the enemy bans your Ringo, then you're kind of out of luck.
Right.
And I think that's the best part about draft mode.
Yeah, and we could see like the Ronas and some of these heroes that are underplayed uh, come in here because you can pick them up, but you can get them into team comps that maybe the Sky, the Kestrel got banned out, and Blackfeather and Catherine got picked. Well, you got to pick Rona and somebody else here.
Yeah.
So it's exciting. I know they are rolling out draft mode in phases though this time because they don't. I think they're a little concerned about the backlash from people.
Yeah.
Right. Like, so the 8 heroes, it's still going to require you 8 heroes to do ranked. But now the phase 1 of draft mode, it will be available in private groups for sure. And then you will only get draft mode if you're a party of 3 and you queue against another party of 3. Then you get kicked into draft mode. If you're a party of 3 and you queue against some solo queuers or a party of 2, no draft mode. And if you're a solo queuer, you won't see draft mode at all in 1.14. Is this good? Is this bad? Are we going to see players, like groups of players, like, oh, I got draft mode, let's dodge this. We don't want to go against another organized team.
Yeah, I think that's what you just described. Because when you get draft mode, it means you're a party of 3 against another party of 3, right?
Yeah.
So if you're a party of 3, not against, if you're a party of 3, not against another party of 3, then it's not a draft pick, right?
Right.
So I think what the situation that you described, I think, is the only way that you could really see a problem with it. But I think overall it's fine.
Okay.
You could see how SEMC really put a lot of thought into it, and they're being very careful and cautious before they jump in to make drastic changes to an already somewhat smooth process. So, I really do think it's the right move. Do you think there's going to be a lot of abuse?
I just saw it brought up as a possibility. I would think a lot of the players that want draft mode and are in a party of 3 will want to do the draft mode. Like, they will want to counterpick and use their knowledge of the game to outdraft the other players.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I don't see how there would be abuse though, because if you're a party of 3 queuing against a party of 2, you have an advantage.
Right.
So you're gonna play the blind. You're gonna play the blind pick. If you're party of 2, you'll never see a party of 3 in draft pick. So it'll go right back to blind pick.
Right, but I was saying, like, if you're a party of 3 and you get draft mode, then you'll be like, oh well, I want to go against a party of 2 because I know us as a team, we're better than them. Like, already we have communication.
Yeah.
I
guess it's possible.
Yeah, I would hope people are better than that. I would like to think that.
Yeah, I guess I'm not thinking about the people trying to game the system. I know that, like, a lot of high elo players, they all have very high confidence, and they have egos. They're out to take other people's elo.
Right.
So yeah, they're not trying to dodge people. They're trying to fight. They're trying to play the good people so they can beat them.
That's true.
So,
you're gonna get more elo that way.
Yeah.
And then,
but it's definitely a valid concern.
Yeah. But I think it's a smart way to do it. And I think they're also, maybe it gives them a little more data to see, like, oh, maybe people do more parties of 3. So maybe team queue is a possibility down the line because, oh, we're seeing more parties of 3 because people want to do draft mode. And this team queue, the team ranked, kind of possibly becomes a thing. Maybe it's a way to test that data a little bit. Just thinking beyond. I'm sure there's multiple reasons why they are rolling it out this way.
Yeah.
But so right now, that's everything that is coming in 1.14 that we know of, besides all the little hints of the patch changes and the updates and the buffs and the nerfs. I'm pretty excited for this.
Yeah. It's
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I'm also super excited. It's like one of the patches I think that really stands out as going to be something that's just a big change to the meta that's going to happen.
I think the last one I felt like maybe this excited about was the Halloween map and then those two seasonal skins when they introduced those. It was like, oh my god, this is a big change and they're doing something different.
Yeah.
And then, so the last bit of news before we wrap up the news section here is the free hero rotation. Always like to mention this, especially for the new players, because you get to try out these heroes that possibly are going on sale here next week, too. So we have this week Jewel, Scarf, Fortress, Finn, Celeste, and Ringo. I think this is a pretty solid lineup for people, especially Finn. I love playing Finn. He's so much fun. I think I've said it before.
Yeah. You ever play CP Finn and Lane?
I have once, yeah. When the damage comes out, you're like, oh my god, I did that much damage? What?
Yeah. His A is really hard to land though.
Right, for
So
sure.
it's pretty balanced.
But I think I'm sure Jewel and Scarf will probably be up in this like hero sale at some point. So I'd say if you don't own them, give them a try and see if you like their play style. You're seeing a lot of Scarf getting played in the VGL matches, just because
Yeah.
if you're good at landing that skill shot, that Spitfire, it does a lot of damage. I'm always shocked when I get hit by it. I'm like, what? It did that much?
Yeah, and it's also a counter to Blackfeather and Lane. He's very good at harassing Blackfeather and Lane. So that's why we've seen a lot of Scarf as well.
Yeah. So check that out. The hero rotation changes on Tuesday, so that's the patch update. So we'll see some new people on that day as well. So get out there, play them, give them a try. So, like I said, on Tuesday, the update happens. I think I will come back with a update rundown, whole thing, and I think I'm going to do that with Gibbs. Still working out all the details with that. Always like to get these people that have seen these changes or possibly played them and get their thoughts on it, and who are very high elo that are really going to see these effects and thoughts on it. So hopefully we'll be back with that. But now that the news is behind us, let's learn a little bit more about ClosetNerd and Team Phoenix.
Now for an interview.
So, first off, after running through all that news, please introduce yourself if people haven't heard your name. It gets passed around and mentioned on Twitter and even in the line chats every now and then.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm ClosetNerd. I'm 30 years old. I live in New York City. My day job, I'm an attorney.
Okay.
And I've been a big fan of gaming for a very long time, and I've followed the esports scene for its inception, from back when StarCraft was big.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, up until League of Legends. I was in law school when the League of Legends scene completely exploded, and so I wasn't really able to. I really would have liked to dive in and start my own team and do all that, but I was studying, and now that I'm more established in my career, and I've seen what works and didn't work in the different professional esports entities, so the organizations, I decided to start my own team and create a good brand.
Okay.
And that's what Phoenix is really about. It's like we want to give off this image, and we want to have a reputation where people know it's going to be professional. It's going to be the best platform for players to join if they want to improve and develop their career as a professional esports athlete.
Okay.
And yeah.
So it's a team first, not a guild first, and then that has a team. Like you, because we had all these guilds happen in Vainglory from its kind of start of it. The team idea like kind of came later, but are you looking at it more like, oh, it's the teams under this umbrella? It's sort of a guild, but it's the teams first.
Yeah, so I mean, the guild and team dynamic in the game is very interesting. I would say it's about team first. It's about Phoenix as an organization first,
Okay.
and then you have 50 guild members. Um, those guild members are going to be staff members. They're going to be our streamers, our staff members, our coaches, and also like highly skilled players. Right now, most of our players are Pinnacle of Awesome.
Okay.
So we could play anytime our team wants to try out a new comp, but not reveal it in a scrimmage against another top team. We have high level players that could team up and fight against some of our professional teams.
Oh, cool. Okay. Very nice. So step, I guess, a little bit back from Team Phoenix first. Like you were saying, you're big into the esports scene with the StarCraft and League of Legends, but like what got you into Vainglory? You mentioned that you started playing in October of last year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm only like 4 months. 4 months.
Yeah.
I played, I always was obsessed with the game. So I was really into StarCraft Brood War. And then I got into Counter-Strike 1.6. And then I got into Warcraft 3, WoW, and then League of Legends.
Okay.
And then once I started working, I didn't have time to play, so I was looking for like a mobile game that I could just kind of play on my commute.
Right.
So I came across Hearthstone, which was like it's an incredible game and it's really fun, but I don't think it wasn't doing it for me. So like for months I was just on the App Store looking for like fun games. I came across a couple of different strategy games, and then I came across Vainglory. I think it was on Reddit. Somebody like passively mentioned it on Reddit, and I gave it a shot. And I was like, "This is an incredible game, and I think it's gonna be huge in the next couple of years."
Okay.
And I saw like SCMC were like X Riot and Blizzard guys and guys and girls, and they really like. I think one of the reasons why Riot really did well with League of Legends is because they supported the esports scene so much and they concentrated on it. And I think SCMC is doing the same thing, and it's going to pay off in huge dividends soon.
So so you then coming in October, like a lot of this was already here. Like when I started playing, there was no VGL, there was no VIPL. Like so after you like started playing and then you got into the game and you found this, was it kind of, I guess, amazing to see like it's already like, oh, it's already building, it's already starting to grow.
Yeah, I mean it's incredible. And I think one of the most encouraging things that really helped me start Team Phoenix is that there's really a lack of like esports teams right now in Vainglory, and I want to get ahead of the game because I know eventually all the top teams are going to try to get a good footing in the esports scene in Vainglory, and right now it's a huge opportunity. You only see like 4, 5, maybe 6 teams that are like well established and have proper organizational structure, and if I'm able to come in and create this awesome platform for players, this awesome brand that players want to be a part of. The timing was just perfect, I think.
Okay, and then you were already helping with contracts and stuff for other players and organizations as well before you started Phoenix, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of offering my services for free. I'm an attorney. I could draft contracts, and I know drafting contracts really legitimizes your like. It legitimizes a team.
Yeah,
saying,
sure.
"Oh, I signed a contract," right? It adds another layer of professionalism, and I really wanted to see the scene develop and grow. Like I built at $500 an hour, but I was doing it for free. So
right, most of these players don't have that kind of money. They're all in school.
Right, exactly. So yeah, I mean, even now, like if you're listening to this and your team wants a contract drafted, reach out to me on band and send me a PM, and I'll help you guys out.
Okay. So then, like, you're busy like building this team, and even with work, like, do you even have time to play the game that often, or is it mainly just on your commute and sometimes some late nights?
No, I mean, I played a lot during um, the holidays.
Okay.
I, s- yeah, I was spamming games like crazy, and I pushed to SA, Simply Amazing last season, and then I'm actually in the middle of switching jobs, so I put in my 2 weeks last week. I'm moving to a different firm.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm pretty free. My schedule's pretty free right now, so I've been spamming games too. So I already hit Pinnacle of Awesome this season.
Oh wow. Okay. What do you usually play? What's your like go-to role when you're in the game?
I know I play all roles because I solo queue a lot,
Okay.
but I feel the most comfortable with CP Jungle Sky and Arden as Roam, and I play some other heroes, but if I'm tryharding and I really want to win, I'll probably play Sky Arden.
Oh, cool. Nice. Yeah. Fun. And then, so like you've mentioned, you have like some top tier players with the POA, and like you're even POA now, and like so that's exciting. Like anybody, like are anyone in these teams? Like we're not seeing you guys in this VGL, or did you guys apply or already out? I don't remember seeing your guys' name in there.
We formed the team after VGL
Okay.
one qualifier started. So um, VGL two qualifier, the team list hasn't been announced yet.
Okay. Right. So you guys,
Yeah,
you,
so
you guys
yeah,
have your
we're
teams ready for the second
yeah
qualifier.
yeah we have three teams. We have Phoenix Rising, we have Phoenix Reborn, and we have Phoenix Resolve. And all three teams are going to be competing in VGL. Hopefully, if they accept us.
Okay.
And they're all everybody's either a high POA player or a Vainglory player on our roster. And right now, we're going to announce our roster Sunday night. We're still in the process of trying people out in different roles and different in different teams.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens.
Like in the, I guess in your scrims or in your band chat, is there like an A team that you guys kind of feel like that's the strongest one? I know like they're all your teams and it's hard to like pick the one, but if players were to like root for one, are you gonna say like this is the team that we think is the strongest?
Yeah, I think that's like one perception or one, I guess. Um, it's one thing that you see a lot in the top tier organizations. Everybody has their A team, and
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to stay away from that
Okay.
because yeah, because like we it's first of all it's way too early to say which one's the best team
Okay.
because we just started, right? Um, by the way, we're 10 days old. I feel like I've been doing this forever now
Okay.
because I'm working. I'm putting like hours and hours of work into this every day. But you know, we're only 10 days old, so it's
Okay.
really impossible to say number one. But number two, everybody's at the same skill tier, so
Sure.
everybody's either high POA, like minimum of POA silver, but mostly POA gold and Vainglorious. And so you can't really say one team's better than the other just yet.
Okay, just yeah, I think time will tell, and like you have Halcyon Hammers and Gangstars, like they have tested teams, and Vertigo, like oh, this team made it this far, so yeah, I guess right now you can't really pick one.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of Halcyon Hammers, their Kinetic, their third team, is now in the semifinals. So
Right? Yeah.
you never know. Yeah,
Yeah, I think talked about like sometimes just patches or updates for players just click more than other players. So yeah, it definitely is a changing thing, and I think it's great that VGL and Super Evil like let other teams in like this because in League of Legends, there's that one team we're watching all season and and for splits, and so it doesn't really change. And
yeah,
there may be some better
yeah,
players or better teams that are just not able to showcase what they can do.
yeah. Well, I think VGL is still. I mean, the esports scene is still very, very young for Vainglory. So you're seeing even VGL1, you're seeing like hotness players that are making it, and a hotness player is not a bad player, but definitely nowhere near the level of some of these pro teams.
Sure.
So yeah, so I don't think I don't think that's a problem just yet about having talented players not being able to showcase their talents because of the limited spots. Because 64 teams, that's a lot of teams.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and it's a lot of games to watch and for them to cast and go through. So,
Yeah.
so you said only 10 days. That's crazy. Like, I'm sure. Is it a lot more work than you thought it would be going into it, or did you have this already like planned out and kind of, or not planned out, but already had an idea? Like, all right, this is what I want to do, so I need to commit the time.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of knew I was going to be changing jobs, so I was gonna have a little more free time. But this was, I don't know, maybe about a week or two of planning.
Okay.
Just creating Excel spreadsheets, creating a timeline of when I want to launch certain features within the brand, and we still have a lot of different things that we're getting ready to roll out.
Okay.
So very, very excited. Everything has been planned very meticulously. A lot of work has been put into it, and hopefully, I won't have to put in so many hours a day once things become like a well-oiled machine.
Right.
But yeah. But right now, it's a lot of fun though because the work's been paying off.
I think a lot of people underestimate how much time it takes to, I guess, run a guild and manage players, even I mean, not even at the professional level that you guys are doing it, just as like a, hey, we're a group of people, we need to all play. Like, that's just, it's chaos sometimes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Especially with everyone, being different ages and different walks of life, and not everyone's in like an office or the same building. It's, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, yeah.
But so you guys already have like sponsors. You mentioned band, and
Yeah, Band is our current sponsor. We have several other sponsors that we're talking to that we're in negotiations with.
okay,
Um, but yeah, like we're definitely really grateful for our relationship with Band. They've been nothing but supportive. They're I'm Skype chatting with them at least once a week.
oh cool, okay,
Yeah,
nice.
so it's really good.
And then so what else is what do we got? What can we expect besides the qualifier, the second qualifier coming up here? Like, what's Team Phoenix doing? Like, any tournaments or scrims or anything like that?
Yeah, so we're launching our featured streamer schedule soon.
Okay.
So we're going to start having Team Phoenix streamers stream on a regular basis so people can know when to tune in. So almost like a TV channel, right? You know when your favorite show is going to be coming on. So we're going to be publishing a schedule for our streamers.
Oh, cool.
And then we're also going to start our YouTube channel where you could tune in and watch some casted games, some highlight reels, and we're also hosting a tournament on February 6th, which is next Saturday,
Okay.
1 week from today. Yeah, so keep on the lookout for that. I posted it on Twitter, on Reddit, everywhere,
Okay.
on Band. Come sign up there. Already, I think there are maybe 5 VGL teams from the first qualifiers that are already signed up.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So there's going to be a lot of top teams, a lot of top talent. First team's going to get 12K ice. The second place team's going to get 6K ice. The tournament's going to be sponsored by Band, and the grand finals and the semifinals are going to be streamed and casted.
Okay. And does it all take place on that one day?
All takes place on one day. It's going to be a
Okay.
best of one until the semifinals.
Oh, nice. Okay. I would say, yeah. All right. I'll be sure to tweet it out and share it as well on the Shatter the Vain Twitter, and yeah, I'm sure I'll be watching too. I'm usually working here or watching VGL, and since VGL ends this weekend, I need another tournament to watch.
Yeah.
So awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we really wanted to fill that void once VGL was over. Because if you're into the competitive scene, you're always thirsty for more.
Right.
for more competition. As I said, a lot of the top teams already signed up. They're always looking to play against other top teams, always looking to compete. So creating that opportunity for a lot of these top teams, I think, is just an awesome opportunity for everybody. I think another thing is that hosting a tournament right after the VGL2, the second qualifier deadline, it allows people to get in some good practice under the new patch
Oh, that's true.
before they start competing in VGL2.
Okay. I didn't even think about that, like the changes from the patch and how that's going to be our first tournament, I guess, on new patch then. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, Closet Nerd, it's awesome to hear everything that's happening with Team Phoenix going on, and yeah, I've been excited to see everything you guys are doing on Twitter and just all the buzz that seems to be happening around you guys.
Yeah, we're excited too.
So one more thing before we wrap up this episode, I wanted to jump into a little forum static.
Forum static.
So I think this is a great topic that you're on for this, and I came across on the forums. Since you're building a team and esports organization and going into this like deep now, and someone posted on the forums like, "Do you trust Super Evil Megacorp?" And it was a poll, but I kind of took this as like a bigger topic here. Like, there's a lot of things like, oh, do you trust them to balance the game correctly? Do you trust them to keep this esports thing going, the games, and promote the players? Because really, companies and organizations like could just shut the game down. Like, oh, this didn't go where we wanted it to go. All right, it's over. So do you feel like you're invested in this and you've put in like a lot of free time and I would hate to see it go away. Like, personally, I'm going to say I trust them, and I think they are in it for the long haul. I know they have said this many times that they, I think it's like 5 or 10 year plan. Like they want to grow it and continue it. But how do you feel about Super Evil as you're building all this?
Yeah, I mean, I think the fact that I entered the scene is a testament to just how much I trust Super Evil Megacorp.
Okay.
Because, yeah, if I didn't, there's no way I would do this. I put a lot of time, put a lot of money into it, and this is just something I really believe in, and I really do think it's going to blow up. They have all the right people at the helm.
Yeah.
They're making all the right moves. They're growing at a very manageable pace. And you could just tell, like, patch after patch, you just see them doing things, and a lot of the times you're looking at a change, you're like, wow, that's a great move that they made.
Yeah.
And I if I didn't trust that they're going to blow up, and they're already blowing up, right? And,
Yeah.
they're winning all these awards and getting a lot of traction. And if you look at the growth in player base too, like, I don't have the stats, but just from the short time that I've played from October 2015 until now, like, there are just so many more players, and so they're doing everything right.
Yeah, like I think there was something magical I saw in the game back in October when I downloaded off the SEA servers. It's just like, oh, I want to be a part of this, and I want to talk about it, and yeah, so I'm fully behind it too, and yeah, I would hate to see them shut it down, and it seems like they have no reason to. They just hired a whole bunch of new people. They said they grew the team from 20 or 30 to 50 now, like community staffs for the tournaments, and they hired a new artist, Chinese artist. So yeah, it's becoming like this global company, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you have any thoughts on Super Evil or the faith in them, like, this is an interesting topic, and it's in the show notes here. I believe the votes were pretty clearly in favor of them. I think they were like only like maybe less than 10% were like no, or they don't agree with this or something like that. So
Yeah.
Go over there and check that out. So that's going to do it for episode 75. Closet Nerd. Again, thanks for joining me. This was fantastic.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Yeah, go ahead.
So where can people find you or Team Phoenix, Twitter, band, all that good stuff?
Yeah, so you could find us on Twitter at Team Phoenix VG,
Okay.
and you could find us on Band at band.us at Team Phoenix VG.
Okay.
You could also follow us on Mob Crush and Twitter, all the same handle, Team Phoenix VG. Our website is phoenixvainglory.com. Quick shout out to our sponsor Band, who's been incredible throughout the process. Really just supporting us and sponsoring us in the giveaways, and they've really just been great to us.
And so the band chat's kind of like the community band that maybe Vertigo has. Like anyone can join.
Yeah, anybody can join as long as you're not a toxic member of the community. Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, with the growth of the band, we grew from I think 40 members on the day we launched to like over 250 now.
Oh, awesome.
So
Okay.
within those 10 days, so I mean, there's been a lot of spamming. So we added a bunch of mods, administrators. So come join us, hang out, talk to us, and like I think one really cool thing about our players is that a lot of times the top players are just kind of they'll shun you if you're not another top player. They kind of keep to themselves as this like elite group of the untouchable group.
Okay.
But our guys are really down to earth, and they're really cool. Like there are people who PM some of our guys on Band and say, hey, like, can you give me some tips? And our guys respond, and it's really a group of really awesome guys.
Nice. Yeah, I like Band. I should probably set up a Shatter the Vain band chat over there. I know the Fold guys have a great band chat, and it's always a good app, and like a lot of conversations. A lot of Vainglory people are on there using it.
Yeah.
Check that out. I'll include a link here in the post and the show notes. Everyone should definitely go over there and join it up. And then if you're liking Shatter the Vain, definitely follow on Twitter at Shatter the Vain. Website is shatterthevain.com. All the episodes get posted there. Links to iTunes and Stitcher. If you're listening on iTunes, please subscribe. And I love seeing reviews. So if you can take a couple minutes, just throw a review on there. It helps more people find the show, and promotes Vainglory too. Like if the podcast is highly rated, we're gonna get more people playing. They're interested in the podcast and the game, so that's fantastic. So give me a review. Yeah. Come on. So that'll do it for this week's episode, or probably not this week's because there'll be another one with the update. So I'll be back soon. But for episode 75, thanks for listening.
Shatter the Vain.